crazy.
Yo. We live right now, my people. We live in the building. Kick Rocks podcast. You listen. Usual cast of characters. You know what I mean? I got the chef. He didn't pulled up. Seek and selectively aggressive. David Perry is pulled up. What's going on? What's going on, fellas? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on?
Yo,
All time this damn smoke and clearing out of the country.
Listen, we got a lot of things to chop it up about. This could be Money in the Bank predictions, but I did want to talk a little AEW, and it's something that was on my mind right before we hit record. You know what I mean? But listen, okay. Let me frame this properly where everybody get mad and get upset. Here we go. Okay, listen. Can someone point out the time and the place and the area or the match? One of you gentlemen, I don't care who takes it. Can you point out to me when the world decided that Dan Bryan the greatest wrestler of all time? When did that happen? When did I? Because am I missing something? Because all of a sudden it just felt like I was cool with him being like good and like being a great wrestler. Then all of a sudden it like somehow transitioned to him being this Christ-like figure in the pantheon of all catch as catch can. The mixture of between Bob Backlund and you know what I mean, Savio Vega mixed with Roman Reigns,
Danny Hodge, something like that,
mixed with Psychosis, mixed with Rey Mysterio.
Hey, Psychosis was a beast though.
Ultimo Dragon.
Why do you think I'm putting him over?
Ultimo.
Why do you think I'm putting him over? I'm just saying they acted like he's combined with all those. Can somebody please point out the match or the moment in time where everybody started telling me he's the great? He eyed to me, and I hate to do that. Tell me when. Can y'all tell me? Can y'all pinpoint when Daniel Bryan has been noticed as the best wrestler in the world? I'm like, damn, since when?
I think it was the Kenny Omega draw. It was Kenny Omega, right? He had a draw with Kenny Omega, right?
Yeah, it was a draw.
Yeah, I think it was the draw with Kenny Omega, and it was the classic. Oh my God, we got Daniel Bryan. This is dream match. Kenny Omega. Oh my God, which was great, but at the same time, people exaggerated how great Daniel Bryan is, and it's not to say Daniel Bryan isn't a top 20 wrestler all the time.
That's fair. Why don't people say that? Why don't people say what David just said? That's fair. Can put it like this. Okay, since this is what I believe. Seriously, on a serious note, this is what I believe, and this is what bothers me about the wrestling community. Truly, I think when a narrative gets built, I think people feel pressure to just go with it, without not necessarily even believing exactly that narrative. You know what I'm trying to say is I remember this, guys. I was there, y'all were there. I remember the Yes Movement and all that stuff like that. It was a groundswell about him getting over. How did we get to him getting over? To him being the best wrestler in the world? That's my only because I don't mind him being at the table. Can he be at the table? I don't even mind if he's the waiter at the table or the Pantheon greats. When did he overtake all these other all-time greats?
So I don't even think he's at the table. I think he's in line. Like I think he's looking at the menu to figure out what he wants to eat. But I don't know if he's not
like
top
T-bone steak, medium rare.
Right. Like he's at Ponderosa and he's trying to figure out what steak he want, right? But no, I mean, I don't know. Like he went over there because he wanted to do all these dream matches, right? And he just wanted to wrestle the best in the world and whatnot.
Okay.
I don't know. I can't put him. He's not in my top 5. Like, is he a dope wrestler? Absolutely. Has he overcome like the stigmas and the height and all of that? Yes. But like I'm kind of with you. Like, when did he become the American Dragon? And when did he become this like larger than life, almost to the point where I
need to push back a little bit.
It's too much. It's too much hype. And I hear you, David. But I don't know. Go ahead, Dave.
Push back.
What's the difference between the height and size between him and Shawn Michaels? So somebody's already got somebody that size, that ilk. I mean, AJ Styles has been over since the turn of the century, essentially. You know what I'm saying?
I know what you mean. I know what you mean about the height thing. I don't necessarily subscribe to the hype thing because I was fortunate enough to be a tall guy, but I've never subscribed to that as when it comes to an entertainer and a performer.
Right.
You know what I mean? If you can make me believe, people don't understand. Fergalicious, Finn Balor, he's not that big, but he looks larger than life. So like if you can suspend my disbelief, I don't listen. Not everybody gonna look like Brock, man.
No. That's the only thing I wanted to push back on was the science that Chef was talking about because like there's a and Ric Flair too. Ric Flair wasn't the biggest guy, you know what I mean?
True.
There's just a certain I guess glass ceiling for those guys. They'll never push to the extent of say a Roman Reigns, say unfortunately, although I hate his ass, a Hulk Hogan, you know, because they're larger than life personalities.
You still ain't over it, huh?
I ain't, man, hey, whatever. He shouldn't have been caught up, but hey, spades, right? If I throw ace of spades, give me my book. You know what I'm saying?
Let me keep it a buck. Let me keep it a buck.
A joker, keep it a buck.
Let me keep it a buck. Like I tell people, I can acknowledge one of the 4 pillars of wrestling. I've always said it. You cannot build a foundation of wrestling without Hulk Hogan. Hollywood or otherwise.
However,
Mackie, I still ain't there yet. You know what I mean?
Mm-mm.
Give me about 64 years. That'll put me at 99 years old. And then
we'll be right there. You know
can you give me 60 years? Can you give me all I ask for is 60 more years, 6 more decades of not being over that shit.
A little more time. Hey, I mean, with the stuff going on today, you know what I'm saying?
Bruh. Come on,
man.
Man.
Talk about that. That's a whole nother ball game.
I mean, when it's all said and done, though, Bryan Danielson is cool, right?
Yeah.
He's a great ring technician. You know, he doesn't care about titles, which you know, that's a whole nother thing that he should have one of the 13 belts that they have going.
Shut the hell up.
But he's cool.
WWE catching up.
Yeah, they're trying. I mean, he's cool, but I wouldn't put him on a level where he's untouchable or on a godly level to where the internet is just holding this guy. Like, did he fight with a broken arm for about 10 minutes? Yeah, I give him that.
Yeah, and as brave as it was silly. And here goes the thing. This is why I'm lucky enough to have the platform that I do, and you guys are on the platform. I don't have to subscribe to that kind of foolishness. I don't care what people say. I got 2 eyes too. I watch enough matches too. Does he know all the holds? Yeah, but I could point to wrestlers that know all the holds too.
Right.
Don't stop trying to feed me stuff just because you want to feed me stuff. Like,
shut up, Malenko.
Your facts. What? See, that's what I'm trying to say. Stop playing with me right now. Are you serious? The man of 1,000 hosts. Like, stop playing with me, man. Like, that's what I'm talking about. How people just easily just like gloss over. Are you serious? Dean Malenko is Daniel Bryan.
Essentially.
He just because my boy Dean Malenko ain't doing flips off the corner rope and diving and smashing his head on stuff don't mean that he know all that catch can foolishness. What's up, Vesper? What's going on, boo? Like, I'm just saying one of those things where it's like what do you so, but Evan, what are you trying to say? What I'm trying to say is, damn, I can't even just watch wrestling and relax for 5 minutes without someone beating me and they were like, oh, the best wrestler in the world. I said, who? Wait a minute. Yo, Roman Reigns is like, yo, hold on. Wait a second here. I've single-handedly had the most compelling wrestling storyline of the last decade. And people just, what do you mean? That has to matter as well. That has to matter.
I could argue, you know, although I am a Roman Reigns stan, but I will argue maybe Bryan Danielson's living off a little bit of that Roman Reigns juice, that little pizzazz, that dust. Because don't forget, he had 2 title matches before he left the WWE.
He acted like he wasn't getting put over, but he was a
I'm just saying. Oh my God. They all act like they wouldn't get put over until they want to come back.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Listen. Daniel Bryan, you A-okay with me, brother. Damn it. But here you go on the shelf for how many weeks? I'm about 6, 8, not with that break. 6 weeks.
That break. Boy, out 6 months.
He out.
I'll see you a little bit longer than 6 weeks from now. Unless you're Wolverine.
Unless he wearing that brace that Cody Rhodes got on, he out.
That brace that Cody got on was like the Infinity Gauntlet, man.
Hey man, that brace came off last week. I was watching the match. He hit the crossroads. I'm like, how the brace come off? Come on, Cody. You gotta get a little bit better.
And plus, I need people to understand you can't just wrestle on a break. You can't just make up stuff. You know what I mean? You can't have some like now if you like one of those football players with the club, like a lineman with the big club, you know what I mean?
Oh, Patrick Willis.
Yeah, you can do that.
Hold on though, y'all. It was titanium. So because it was titanium, he can wrestle.
I don't like your tone. Your tone doesn't sound like you don't believe the foolishness. I'm just saying, you know what I mean? Yeah, but y'all, listen, y'all, welcome to the show. Y'all appreciate y'all in the chat. Yo, Best, what up? Mons, what up? Eric, what's going on, brother? Appreciate y'all for joining as we ramble a bit. Chef, did you watch Forbidden Door, brother?
No.
No. Oh wait, Vesper, you playing Fight Forever right now? Yo, Vesper, talk about right. Like, hold on, wait a minute, live Vesper, you playing Fight Forever right now? We about to get into AEW. Well, tell me right now because I know it's arcade style. I'm not asking for it to look like 2K. You know what I mean, Vesper? What's it? Give me your honest take as you're playing it right now as we're live. Like, what is the? You know what I mean? What's the vibe, Vesper? Go ahead,
straight from the streets reports. No, I didn't. I didn't watch it, but I caught a lot of it between YouTube and Twitter and whatnot. I was impressed with the show. I mean, it was real long, but I had to watch a whole bunch of different highlights just to get the whole scope of it all.
Right.
Because I don't have time to watch a show that long. I'm not even. Nope.
Who do? Well, people do, but I don't.
Right. I mean, right. I'll hit you with the sneaky link for next time. You know what? I liked Orange Cassidy. He's won me over. He's
really
at first I wasn't a fan of the nonchalantness, but as I was looking,
what has he done to move you?
So how much it's kind of how much I see of him, how much he's on TV wrestling.
He is
how much he's defending whatever title it is. I don't even know what it is. Is it the Atlantic or something like that? But you know, I'm impressed with how he got over and how it's affected me to where I pay attention to, you know, his matches on Twitter and then go back and watch it on, you know, on Rampage or whichever show, you know. The only Rampage I know is the video game, but nonetheless, you know, it was what else impressed me? I tell you, CM Punk's match actually did impress me. He had the nerve to throw in the Hogan leg drop. You know, I noticed some Roman Reigns lariats.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
you can't troll a company that's doing really well though.
You know, so MJF, you know, he did the usual things that he does, you know, with the robe, you know.
He was carrying that old man though, man. He was doing the Lord.
He was. But you need your champ to do that every once in a while. You gotta help sell the match to get somebody through it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Trying to think. I don't really care for the Combat Club.
Ain't nobody from Blackpool in the club,
right? It's not even really. It's like a kind of club. It's like when you get a Pizza Hut,
BCC or James.
When you get a bookmark, or when you collect enough stuff to get a Pizza Hut coupon to get a personal pan pizza from the what is that? Book It. I mean, obviously the Osprey match. You know, I talked about that with you guys. That one blew my mind. I don't know who wants to get dropped on the neck from a Tiger Driver 91. Sound like a Mortal Kombat Super Street Fighter Turbo 2 move. I don't know. But yeah, there was a few matches here and there, but
yeah, it's gonna be good. To me, it's gonna be good wrestling, though, Chef. That's the thing. This is not. I told you, this ain't never gonna be no hit piece when it comes to that company because, like I said, the longer the company thrives, the better it is. You know what I mean? And the better everyone is for it. So right. I'm glad you took some positives away from it. Now, there's a lot of people out there, you know, a lot of famous people out there that make their living off of talking shit about AEW. I ain't trying to be one of them.
Right.
To be completely honest with you, I was like, I can't be coming up on this podcast every single week dogging AEW, especially when they be giving brother AEW interviews. Why the hell would I do that? That's just dumb. You know what I mean?
I didn't see your guy.
Who?
Ricky.
Yeah,
Pretty Ricky.
That's a
yeah, right. Not to trigger you, but I didn't see Pretty Ricky on that card.
Listen, and I'm telling you,
the nerve.
keep on
this nerves over here.
That's fine. Keep on.
I like poking the host.
Oh my lord!
Keep on disrespecting Pretty Ricky, and I'm telling you, he can come on home, come on to the flagship. That's fine with me. That's fine with me. He got a couple homies over there. I'm just saying.
They gave him a consolation prize by putting him in the Owen Hart Cup, I suppose.
When he takes the L, it's gonna. You're right. It's gonna feel just like a consolation.
Oh, yeah. Y'all shooting down all my.
But listen. Oh, yo, shout out to Vesper saying the game plays like No Mercy a bit.
Oh, I'm gonna have to cop that. Then.
No Mercy 2023. She says it's pretty fun. I go. That's all I'm at. Because I feel as an arcade style. I never, like I said, you can't compare, especially when they were trying to go for something different. If it's like No Mercy's fun. Because with all due respect, not everybody's trying to use 50 buttons to put somebody in a headlock. Not all the time, exactly. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes people just want to smash buttons and like body slam people. You know what I'm saying?
Get you in the mouth with a skateboard or something like that.
Yeah. Yo, but DP, what about you, brother? Any matches that in your mind? Any takeaways at all?
Well, I got the saw, like I said, like we was chopping it up. I ain't get to see much of it, but the greatness of Will Ospreay needs to be spoken about.
This kid is cold.
He's 1 of 1.
I tried to tell y'all that was my draft pick.
Yo, he is cold, bro.
But the problem with his style is he always gets hurt. He's always hurt. He broke his neck. He does things to where it's dangerous. And I'm afraid that he's not going to get to 40 sometimes because of what he does to his body. He's phenomenal. And I don't want to take anything away from the young man because he's great. There's nobody like him. It's like, no disrespect to Seth Rollins, but the things he can do and the things he's allowed to do, he's like Seth Rollins plus, you know, just because he was able to do it.
It's a good comparison.
I mean, he reminds me of TNA AJ.
That's a good comparison. That's a good comparison.
He just is not durable enough to continue like that. He's going to have to adjust a little bit before he's not able to do what he loves to do. He needs to understand it because the way he goes and the way he goes so hard, it's just difficult. It's just difficult to go like that. Look at Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan's had his career stop multiple times. And that's not necessarily the same name in that ilk you want to be spoken of when it comes to durability issues. I just love the kid, and I just want him to do well and take care of his body because he has a lot of wear and tear. And I don't want his career to be messed up because he's special. And
I feel you. Sharon, I wish I could see Ospreay Rollins me too, because that would be cold.
Shout out Sharon.
Sharon was really good. I feel your game. It was good. I agree with every word you said though, DP. Like truly, and it's one of those things where I think about. I talked about it before, and I know people. It's a very unpopular opinion, but it's the only thing that backs me up is history, and I'll stay aligned with history as opposed to people get mad about what I'm trying to say. Is Ospreay, you don't got to wrestle like that, bro. You ain't got to wrestle like that for me. You ain't got to wrestle like that for everybody else. Not to be known as one of the greatest. Let me tell you a quick story about Trevor, aka Ricochet. Right, when I had the pleasure to talk to Ricochet, and you guys knew what he represented if you watched Lucha Underground, Prince Pumas of the world. Anybody that was lucky enough to see him in the Independence, I was talking to him. I was like, yo, man, you kind of do you wish you could still do some of the stuff that you did in Lucha Underground and other places like that? He goes, yeah. He goes, but somebody professional pulled me to the side of WWE and said, no. He said they said that, and he goes, he's glad they did. He said because it saved years off his career. That's all you need to know. And if you see what Ricochet does, he still does things that top 1% people can only do. Right. But what I'm trying to say is he took advice from somebody that's been in the game longer than him, that was in the PC with him, and said, yo, we cutting all that, but what all this bullshit you're doing outside of the ring, concrete and all this stuff, we ain't doing that. Because you were a commodity, you were a superstar, you were a first ballot Hall of Famer if you do it like this. And he said, cool. So what I'm trying to say is, with all due respect to Ospreay, he ain't doing what Ricochet's doing. He ain't doing that. So what I'm saying, if a person like Ricochet can taper off the things that he did before he got to the E, Like, yo, Will, you could do the same thing, bro. Like all this, man. I'm listening because if I'm wrong, why are y'all getting injured all the time? Ain't nobody that's arguing with me could tell me that, especially the greatness of Kenny Omega, bruh. You anybody that disagree with me, you just selfish as hell. I ain't trying to see Kenny Omega get paralyzed for some bullshit move at a pay-per-view.
It's not worth it.
He doesn't need to do that to be great. He not to me, he don't. Not to me, he doesn't. The greatest wrestlers to ever live, they don't do that foolishness, and everybody knows it. What's the most high risk maneuver Roman Reigns does? Jump out the rope on top of somebody? Like, let's be real, man. That's the best wrestler in the world, professional entertainer in the world, and he takes the least amount of impact on his body. You think that's a coincidence? I do not need to see somebody at the level of Will Ospreay like not being able to walk because he put on a 5-star banger in 2023.
For Dave Meltzer.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Dave Meltzer.
That's crazy.
I'm the only Dave that matters. You hear me? Stop that shit, Will Ospreay.
Stop it, bro. I'm serious, bro. You too good, bro. You ain't gotta do that foolishness. I don't give a damn what anybody tell you. You don't. You don't. These fans will still love you, bro, because you could talk that talk. You know what I'm saying? You could do your thing. You could just taper it down a little bit.
I talk to him like he talks. Quit that shit, bro. You know, I come over there and kick your ass, Mike.
Yo, man, let's get into some of these predictions, and after that, we're gonna follow up with y'all's thoughts on anything else y'all want to talk about. But I'm gonna go around the horn. Everybody in the chat, please join in. You know what I mean? So let me start at the bottom. I'm gonna go around the horn, little money in the bank prediction, see what's going on Saturday, see what you guys are thinking, and we're gonna revisit these. I might even make a little graphic and put that little graphic up to see who's leading and doing their thing. All right, so let me start with DP. Let me go. Gunther and Matt Riddle singles match for the WWE Intercontinental Championship. What you got?
Man, I got Matt Riddle. No, I'm just playing. Nobody believe that shit. I'm just playing. Ooh. I got Gunther. The ring general. Gunther.
Shout out Justin Rich.
If you've seen him, you know why. I don't need to break it down. All you got to do is watch him, because ain't nobody on earth want to take a chop for that man.
Nobody.
So shout out him. He gonna take him down.
Yeah, okay.
He might chop a whole toenail off, because you know what I'm saying. He can't stand barefoot. He might chop him so hard one of painted toenails might go flying and poke somebody damn eye.
So all right, okay. Chef, what you got, man? The ring get it out or the bro?
Until Matt Riddle puts more clothes on, I'm taking Gunther.
Man, come on, man. Yo, shut up.
He's stripping Vegas for part-time living.
I need a knee pad, some wrist, some wrist tape. I need to see what
would you do though? Truly, would you trip if he came out with some boots, straight up wrestling boots like Randy Orton boots? Would you trip? At
this point, he needs to wear Randy Orton's boots in order to win. I mean, unless that's the surprise and Randy Orton comes out to help him to even the odds, because Ludwig Kaiser is causing trouble. Right. Unless Orton comes out, it's going to be Gunther, because the odds are stacked against Riddle.
Yeah, plus Gunther's Gunther. I need somebody spectacular to challenge him for that title and possibly dethrone him. So I'm tending to agree with both you gentlemen. There's nothing wrong with going with chalk. That's chalk. That's Gunther. If you were in Vegas and someone told you to put your life savings on Gunther winning this match, I don't think you would be too hesitant. You know what I'm saying? This was what we're doing right now. That's
putting it all on that man.
You kidding me? Big Austrian. Yo, moving on. Ronda Rousey, Shayna Baszler, Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez. Who you got, DP?
I mean, it's gonna be Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler, because they gotta give Ronda something to do, because they're giving her all that damn money. And honestly, this This is the spot. Listen, Raquel going heel. She might smash Liv.
Oh,
They take the L.
oh, really?
She pick her up. You know how WWE like to do it. She pick her up. It's okay. Won't give her a hug. Look at her clothesline the shit out of her ass, and then we got a new rivalry, I suppose, going into SummerSlam, because then you'd have, I guess, another slot to put a match if you want to go a little bit more, if you want to give the women a little bit of love, because God knows they don't know what they're doing with the men half the time these days. So, hey, got to fill out the cards. So I got Shayna Baszler, Ronda Rousey taking down Liv and Raquel Rodriguez, and she going to turn on her. That's my prediction.
Chef, what say you?
I feel like David is like cheating off of everybody's notes.
Yeah,
I was gonna say the same thing, and I was gonna mention that all of Liv's partners always turn on her, like all of them. Like every time she got a partner, they turn. Ruby Riott, she had, wasn't it like Asuka? Like she had a whole bunch of partners. She had a whole bunch of partners, and they keep turning on her. So I don't know when she gonna learn.
Rhea turned on her.
Rhea turned on her.
Rhea. Don't forget about Rhea.
So it's gonna be chalk for Ronda and Shayna to win and keep their unified belts. And then, like he said, she might catch a clothesline or a power bomb. I don't even know her moveset, but
they call that the Gringo bomb or something like that. I don't even know what they call that.
Listen, everybody agrees. Everybody agrees with what you're saying, though.
It might as well be a quesadilla bomb.
A quesadilla bomb.
I swear to God.
Oh my Lord.
Listen. I was like, wait a minute. Her last name was Gonzalez. That's pretty Mexican, guys.
Right.
Like what are we doing?
I guess they feel Rodriguez sounds Puerto Rican or something. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. No, I don't know what it is, but they both sound Mexican because she's Mexican.
I know. I don't know what the hell WWE is doing. They can see somebody sometimes Japanese trying to put them out in a kung fu outfit and tell them they from China. You already know.
JMC, what up, baby boy? How you doing, brother?
Look at who was it? Yokozuna. Everybody know he was Samoan. Eating spam in the back.
You know what?
He ain't Japanese.
I did not know.
Out of here.
I was too.
I didn't know. When we was young, we didn't know, but now we know his ass looks Samoan. Look at Rikishi. They look like brothers. I'm just saying.
I mean, if you give him Mr. Fuji, it confused me. So I just assumed he was.
You were a child. You're not supposed to. You know what I mean? Yeah. I was fully convinced. Yeah. You could have told me back in the day that I was white and I'd have believed WWE. I was stupid as hell back in the day. I was a dumbass kid back in the day. Boy, I was so stupid.
Boy, I'm black and white, so you already know what it is, boy. You tell me which way from Sunday. I'm gonna follow.
Yo, shut that. You know what I'm trying to say. You know what I mean? When you was a kid with WWE or WWF,
I already know.
You were like, yeah. You were like, yeah. Like whatever they sold, whatever they sold you.
Hey, David Perry thought he was probably related to Tatanka or something.
You already know.
Yo, I think Tatanka actually is one of the first people. I do believe.
I saw Savio Vega and I was like, is that my daddy?
Yo, shut the shut the hell up. But listen, yo, we got listen, okay, we got the Bloodline, Roro versus Solo Sikoa with the great Paul Heyman versus the Usos, Jay and Jimmy. To me, this one is the hardest to call. You guys got real cute in the first two. Y'all being real cute, but this one's a little harder to call. Selectively aggressive DP, but say yeah.
Oh man, okay. All right. See, this is what I was talking about. But the swerve can only happen if I know what happens on SmackDown. Okay. Because let me give you two options. All right. If Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens lose the title, I promise you, watch out for the turn. Because then we're gonna go. Oh, am I live still?
No, you good.
Oh man, y'all went from the screen.
I'm changing angles.
All right, cool. My bad, y'all. But if they lose the title, I think Sami Zayn comes out the woodwork with the swerve and turns on the Usos and rejoins the bloodline.
My boy JMC says Roman can't lose yet. Not a visual pitfall. Yeah, I don't know if he's going to. Yeah, Jay, I'm with you on that, Jay. I don't know if
only if they lose the titles. But if they win the titles, then obviously the Usos are going to win. It's going to be a fatal four-way at SummerSlam. But I'm telling you, watch. It's got to go to SmackDown. If they lose the titles to Pretty Deadly on SmackDown,
Yeah,
watch
watch it.
out.
Watch out.
Watch out. And then I'm telling you, I would say WWE come hire your boy, but AEW need another mind more than the E does. So come holler at me, man. I'm free, man. I got time. Come pay me.
And that's the thing, though. That's the thing about AEW. Don't y'all understand? Listen, y'all can get your boy services, man. Listen, after the E, let me go. Listen, I'm here. I'm here because with all due respect, y'all.
Hey, we gonna have
a couple brainstormers.
We're gonna have to change David's name. We're gonna have to change it from selectively aggressive DP to Crockpot Perry. You out here stirring up.
That's my joint right there, the Crockpot, baby. The
Crockpot Perry. Hey, that might work. You hear me? CPP,
I gotta trademark my shit first. Hold on, man. Yo, Usos are bulletproof. They can lose 400 times and remain fine. Yeah, the thing about the Usos, Jay, they don't need to win any titles ever again, in my personal opinion. Because I know it's fashionable now, but if we could check old Mackey's old tape when he was on the E, when I'm telling you, I can show you the video where they scoffed at it, where I was like, the Usos are the greatest tag team of all time. And this is before the bloodline thing even started. I said, that's the greatest tag team I've ever seen. I said, they came out the womb as a tag team. How the hell can they be the best tag team of all time? They came out the womb as a tag team. They tagged each other as they came out the womb. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I've always said that, and people scoff. People are not scoffing so much now.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So I don't think they need tag team titles to make an impact, no matter what. I think everyone's so quick to try to get Jay or Jimmy to go solo for a title run. I don't know if they need to do that either. You know, I just keep them together, keep them running amok all over WWE. AEW needs all of you. Listen, you too, JMC. They need you too, baby boy. Who's the greatest? Yeah, he's not even close.
I think there's only 2 wrestlers from a tag team, historically beginning as a tag team, to ever make it big. And if I'm not mistaken, that's Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels. Right?
That's not bad. You know, I would love to say the Rockers, but one of them is like a knucklehead. The other one's an all-time great. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, and then I say that and saying that I could never see them put the title on the Uso because the WWE doesn't normally separate tag team wrestlers. Aside from, I think, like we were talking about Montez Ford, he has the potential, but they haven't built them enough for me to believe that Jey Uso has a snowball's chance in hell of taking a title from Roman Reigns, and I don't believe he can go to the Today Show. They haven't made me believe that.
Plus, they've had that match before, and it was an all-time great match. Right. It was an all-time great match. It was an all-time great finale. I told you, my favorite part in wrestling history, me personally, and there's been a lot of them. The greatest moment I've ever seen in wrestling history is when his father and his uncle came out and Roman laid that. That's the greatest moment of my entire wrestling life. That was like the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life, because it's like there was nothing fake about it. It was like he was able to do that because he literally has a part of this lineage, and when they did that, it was one of those moments that solidified him as being the greatest of all time. And I don't think that they can have Jay win after that. You know what I'm saying? Like, not after that, you know what I mean? But moving right along, Seth freaking Rollins. I think it's legally binding that you have to say freaking before you say Rollins versus freaking. The great Fergalicious Finn Balor. What say you, David Perry?
You know what? I'm gonna let Chef go first this time.
Oh, what the hell is your problem? Seth Rollins be triggering this dude, yo. I don't know why. Yo, one of these days we gonna unpack why the Seth be triggering David Perry. But I'll kick it to the chef. He be cooking on the pod and he cooks in real life. So I'm gonna kick it to the chef.
I'm interested in because as this guy, I'm really interested in his thoughts because I'm also waffling a little bit, so I'm still coming up.
So then I'll state my case. So call me Perry Mason, and you could be Columbo.
Well, that's my go. Columbo's the GOAT, number one. Number two, I'm a Matlock. If we're going Lord, I'm a Matlock guy. But continue.
Okay.
Listen, my dad, if he was listening to you right now, he would pop because we have a Perry Mason versus Matlock debate. So you mentioning Perry Mason would have ended like the debate for him, even though there's no proof. That would have ended it because you referenced him personally. But continue.
So, David Perry wants me to pick Seth Rollins, and I'm gonna tell you why I'm not picking Seth Rollins.
Ooh,
it's time.
Pointing fingers at your boy. Okay,
it's time to cash in on the history from the beginning when they first had the Well, would that be
Oh, talk
would that
about
be
it.
the
Universal title, the
the
first
universal
universal
title, right?
Yes.
So it's time to bring it back full circle.
Ooh.
I think they give Finn Balor his moment. They give Fergalicious his moment because
Really?
it creates dissension within the Judgment Day. It puts more titles in their faction and makes them a stronger faction. Um, it only elevates, because we always talk about when Seth was losing to Cody, like he didn't need to win, and there was a point where he kept losing matches, but it still didn't matter because the evolution of him getting over was already happening. So it honestly didn't matter that he wasn't winning, and I don't think he needs to keep this belt through SummerSlam. There could be a rematch of SummerSlam for whatever, but I like that he started this where the title is being defended everywhere, right? So I feel like even if you give it to Finn, there's already something started with Melo at NXT. So it could be Melo and Finn Balor at SummerSlam. It could be a tag team. It could be Melo and Rollins against Finn and Priest at SummerSlam, but Priest, as we get there, might have a briefcase too. So you could have your partner eat the pin in a tag team, and then hand the ref the briefcase, right? Like,
damn,
and say sorry, not sorry. So I'm gonna pick Finn for storyline purposes. That I think it would be a crazier story heading into SummerSlam with Finn as the champ.
Vesper of Evil says, imagine Finn wins and the Priest gets the briefcase. Incredible. Sharon Dominic wins Money in the Bank. That'll blow the doors off the place. Mon, Judgment Day, McDonough soon. My boy JMC. Okay. Finn is at least over his crew, and I love Finn, but come on, JMC. This is about Damien. This about that Damien is hot. Rhea and Dom are the hottest in the company other than LA Knight. Finn is at least interesting member of Judgment Day right now. How crazy is that? Tell me if I'm wrong. You're not wrong at all, Jake.
Not wrong.
And Chef, you're not wrong either, Chef. To be honest with you, all your scenarios that you laid out are beautifully laid out. It messes with my flow. Because I only want one thing to happen on Saturday. I don't give a damn what happens on Saturday, but one person holding the briefcase. That's the only one, and that's LA Knight. Let me talk to you.
Yeah.
So so I don't care what happens. I don't care if a comet comes down to my house and blows both my legs off. As long as he has the briefcase and I'm legless with a comet in the middle of our living room, I'm cool. I can literally die a happy man. But you throwing monkey wrenches all through that because aesthetically, what would be dope? Of course, what would be a great picture, right? This Judgment Day that no one believed in, except the people like to pretend like they believed in it, but they didn't. Especially when Edge left it, everybody didn't believe in it, and that's okay. Guys, it's okay to say you didn't believe in it because I know I didn't.
I didn't either.
And see how comfortable you can be comfortable in saying I did not know, but everyone likes to pretend like this was over. No, it'd be amazing. Dom winning the briefcase, or Damien winning the briefcase, Rhea having the title, and then Finn having the title. That aesthetically looks insane. You know what I mean? It makes them look like the most dominant faction in all of wrestling. But it's messing with my narrative. But I understand where you're coming from right now. I just don't think right now Seth freaking Rollins gives up the title to Fergalicious. Not right now.
I want to hear what CPP got to say.
Yeah, let's see for real.
What you got, Crockpot?
You know what's crazy? I completely disagree with you, Justin. I was waiting. I was listening to you. There's no way Seth Rollins losing the title in London. Like, let me ask you a question. Did Drew beat Roman?
No.
Did Sammy beat Roman?
No.
Did Cody beat Roman?
No.
Oh, anything Roman for the last 2 years is gonna be no.
What I'm saying is WWE these days are known for building something up, especially when it comes to somebody's hometown and breaking their heart. We're in the UK.
Close enough to Ireland.
That's why Ferg is in the title. And in all honesty, it wouldn't make sense to put the title on Fergalicious right now because I can see Drew McIntyre coming back and Claymore kicking the shit out of
I'm cool with that.
And then you can go into SummerSlam with Seth Rollins versus Drew McIntyre because I can see where you're going with.
So you want Drew as a heel?
Yeah, of course. Who doesn't?
Okay.
He's always better. He is better as a heel. He is.
Drew McIntyre. Give me him.
He's
Claymore kicking
always
the shit out of people.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
He's always a good like.
That's what I think is going to happen. I just don't see Ferg beating him. I was thinking about it. I was like, it'd be a nice moment.
It'd be crazy. It'd be crazy dope though.
But WWE has been booking for story and not for moments.
True.
It's not the time. It's not the time nor the place to put the title on Finn, especially when they've been building the dissent between him and Damian. It isn't the time to break them apart, because if you put the title on Finn, he's a heel, and then you're trying to push Damian in his face. How do you separate the two with him being a face? Because he got to do something dastardly to get a shot at Finn, and they've been building the other way. So it doesn't make sense.
So with that being said, do you, with this whole pay-per-view, you don't think a title is going to change hands?
Not the world title.
Okay.
Not the world title, because they're trying to build that title to being the workhorse title. And if you already changed hands, you're already feeding into what social media is saying about that being a second place championship, a consolation championship. You're going to drop it on Finn, you're going to give them that thought anyway. You need to add some prestige to that title. And if anything, Finn Balor beating Melo, I can see them having a little thing without the title. If anything, I can see them having another match, but the world title wouldn't be smart, because even though they had a great match, people already shitting on the fact that Carmelo Hayes lost to Finn Balor.
He had to lose. He
had to lose. I agree, because he's going into a world title, but they're like, why even have the match?
I understand that. Because it was a banger of a match. He like the whole Melo don't miss thing works for NXT.
It was great.
It works for NXT, and that was a great match to have on Raw. That was a big moment for him to have on Raw. You can't beat Finn Balor before Monday. Are you crazy?
And it lets Finn credibility.
Hell no, you can't lose. You cannot lose. It's the whole moment that you ain't ready yet, but you're ready thing. Come on, y'all know better than that.
Right.
You know what I mean? We all know Melo's ready for the main roster, but you can't come here and beat, because I told you, this is what, listen, especially black folks, they don't want to hear this. Guys, not everybody know who Melo is yet. They don't. That was their first taste. That was their first real taste. Truly, the dark matches and all that bullshit, that don't matter. That don't matter. It's what's on TV to the people that are viewing, not the person that's in Kansas City, wherever. That was the first national exposure, truly, to Melo. Not the people that know they know. I'm talking about to the casuals. So a casual just can't be Finn. Y'all got to know better than that. Like, you know what I mean? Like those, because I heard the same thing you heard. I go, he couldn't have won that match. He couldn't have
won that match. He couldn't have won that match. It was a great match.
Great match.
You gotta Finn. Well, the problem is people already putting Melo on the same level as Finn, and it's not that. Like, calm down.
Easy does it.
Easy. As a matter of fact, it's actually good to put him in there with Finn on national television. That way he can actually be with one of the greatest workers to ever do it.
Mm-hmm.
And he's getting the exposure. They had a great match. I don't understand what people are bitching for. It makes absolutely no sense. But
they can bitch all they want, but he's taking that. They can bitch all they want. He's taking that L Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or Sunday against Finn. He just, because
31 days.
It just don't matter. And a leap year. It don't even matter. You know what I mean? But like, but check it out. So we got so now moving on, we got Cody versus Dom with Rhea Ripley singles match. It's a regular good old fashioned collar and elbow singles match. Does Cody momentum slow up a bit at all? Because he lost his last match. He lost against
about to get his ass whooped by Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar about to beat his ass like he stole something. I just don't know if it's going to happen before or after. It's got to happen. I think Dom has to win this match. There's no reason Cody Rhodes is winning this match. This has to set up that stipulation people are talking about. I think, I personally think it might be a first blood match, because if you bust Cody Rhodes open, then you might have that's the stip, because there ain't no other stipulation. Ain't going to be no submission match. Texas Bull Rope, sure, but we haven't seen it. The only thing we've seen is blood.
Yeah.
And they're talking about something that ain't been around in a long time. So, and you got Nick Khan out there talking about getting a little more TV 14 for the 10 o'clock hour. So, I think it's got to be something like that, man. If Cody Rhodes goes over on Dom clean, it just totally stunts all the growth Dom had, because he's the biggest heel in the business right now. Got the most heat, I should say. He ain't the biggest NJ.
I can see Brock Lesnar coming out and beating him up and then leaving him for Dom and he get the easy win, or he don't have to do nothing, or Cody kicks out a couple times even though he got beat up already. We know how it's gonna go.
Yeah, because if you do anytime you just throw Brock in at any point in the match, it will always have the guys that it was Brock's reason why he lost. You know what I mean? So as long as you do that, Dom losing. The one thing that can't happen on Saturday is Dom losing at any stretch. I'm sorry, he can't. He can't lose. He can't lose. He can't lose. Him getting a win at any kind, at any level, or against the great Cody Rhodes, just elevates his stock more and makes him more hated in one of the most hostile environments in the world. London's going to be rowdy. London's going to be raucous. They're probably going to be a cutoff of the beer at like 6 o'clock. You know, they're going to be wild. They're going to be wild, man. So Dom getting that real heat, that makes things much better. Him losing, that don't do well.
It adds heat to Rhea too.
Yeah. I need him to win. Even if Rhea helps him win, I don't care. Dom just needs to go over. So I'm glad we're in agreement there. So now, first Money in the Bank match start with the ladies. Zelina Vega, Becky Lynch, Zoe Starks, Miss Bailey, the artist formerly known as Io Shirai, and Trish Stratus. Now listen, I got my answer, but what say you? DP.
I'm gonna go ahead and stick with my guns. I'm gonna stick with my guns, although they tried to sway me with that whole Rhea Ripley, Becky Lynch thing. I really think Io's gonna win.
Ooh, that would suit me down to the ground.
I would, because then you can match her up with eventually Asuka there, whomever's gonna win between that trio with Bianca, Charlotte, and Asuka. So that's why I think Io's gonna win, because if Becky wins, it's just to give her another accolade. It doesn't make any sense. She can just get a match at SummerSlam. I don't really think
she doesn't need a briefcase at all.
I don't believe in Zoe Stark. Trish doesn't need it, and Zelina Vega. I mean, we just did that in Puerto Rico.
Listen, I'm gonna keep it real. I'm gonna keep it real with you, bro. I really think Trish Stratus is winning that Money in the Bank.
You do?
I really do. I really
elaborate.
Do. I really do.
Please convince me.
I don't think she's come back for anything but a championship kind of match. I think she's gonna get another title. I really do.
Wow.
I know it sounds crazy. Listen, yo, best for evil. What's going on, boo? I literally just keep seeing it. That's all there is to it. I barely have any logic behind it besides the fact that we're getting in the best shape she's ever been in 20 years and coming back and making an instant impact and has not really taken the L since in her being in a Money in the Bank match, unless Becky does something crazy. Yo, I think Trish Stratus is gonna win this match.
You know,
Trish Stratus is Miss Money in the Bank, man, for real.
So when we last talked about this was before Trish had her qualifying match. So pretty much it had 5 to 6 already set, and before Bailey's match got vinced because it was supposed to be her and Shotzi, and that got vinced, right? And then they gave Trish this match, and I'm like, oh, it's a noun, pronoun, adjective. Something's getting vinced, and if anything gets vinced, it might be this match. Ev, you convinced me. I was gonna say Io,
bro. I wish Io was my favorite wrestler in the whole match. Like,
you convinced me,
bro. Listen, we gonna revisit this. I can look like a fool, and it is what it is. But Trish, I don't think Trish came back to just the bullshit. I really don't. I think she's getting one more run, like one more run, bro. Who would she take it off? I don't know who she takes it off of.
Because then that's what I'm saying. Because right now she a heel, Rhea's a heel. When you turn her face, I see what you're saying, but who's she gonna go after?
I know what you're saying. You're saying based on that kind of logic. You're saying but guess who else is the face?
I see what you're saying.
But look who else is the face though. Becky's the face, and that's the SummerSlam match right there. Trish having the title.
We're gonna say that.
Trish having the title.
I see what you're talking about
at SummerSlam versus Becky. For Becky to take the title at SummerSlam. That's it, man.
And then Trish go on. I see where you're going with
I'm just saying that it could. That's where I'm laying it out. I'm laying it down like that. Like I said, Io is who I would love to see because Io is the truth. But we gonna figure it out. Those happen in a couple days. Finally, gentlemen, Pretty Ricky Ricochet, Shinsuke Nakamura, the great LA Knight, Santos Escobar, the artist formerly known as Pete Dunne, Damian Priest, and the antagonist that is Logan Paul, a man who, if I predicted that will be WWE champion. However, that does not mean at the expense of this match. I just said that. I mean, like 10 years from now. I don't mean in this match. So I'm going to kick it to you guys, because I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to be very pissed if he wins, just because it's just because of who's in the match, not just LA Knight, and a couple other wrestlers that I believe need to get over in that match. But who wins this match? David Perry, what say you?
All right, so let me lay the scene for you. We got bodies everywhere. You got Ricochet climbing up towards the ladder, climbing up slowly. Then all of a sudden, Logan Paul springboards and gives him a clothesline. All right, then everybody's down, and he starts to climb up. And then you hear, nah. All right.
I hope
and then he pushes the ladder over.
Hope to God.
And then Logan Paul goes through a table.
I will die.
And then you climb the ladder, and LA Knight gets to the top. He gets the briefcase. And then you have all the O2 arena saying, L.A. Knight.
Yeah.
You go.
I would literally die. That's all I need.
I painted the picture. You like that?
I would literally, if LA Knight wins this Money in the Bank, I swear, brother, Lord have mercy. Like, because people don't understand how much people don't get it. The Money in the Bank to me is not just the opportunity. It's because I think I'm telling you right now, the hottest. I think LA Knight's the best wrestler on the planet right now, personally, not because Roman Reigns already solidified right now, because that's what people don't get.
You ain't talking about him.
I don't look at Roman Reigns as a wrestler. Y'all understand? I look at Roman Reigns as an entity. Like, seriously.
The deity.
Yeah, he is. People think they kind of joke about that God mode. He literally is in God mode right now. So, like, I don't even think about it. So when I say the best wrestler in the world, I believe is LA Knight. Now, tell me, when I think of Money in the Bank winner, it's not just the briefcase. It's the person, what they do with the briefcase. You know how much shit that dude be talking with that briefcase? Do you know how much this dude walking down the aisle with that briefcase, just talking all this trash, you know what I mean? And just cutting promo after promo and just talking about how he's going to cash in. You don't know what it is, because if it's anybody, it's going to be on Seth. Yeah, just give me LA Knight. That's just all heart. Is WWE annoying enough to piss me off to give that to Logan Paul? Yes. But I'm going to kick it to
faced Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns, so it would be redundant if he won Money in the Bank. That's all I'm saying. If anybody from WWE is listening, heed my advice.
Please heed the advice. Yo, Chef, what you got?
Listen. You went from Crockpot Perry to Picasso Perry. I appreciate the art that you were creating.
It was beautiful. Listen, I think Picasso's a shitty artist, but that does not mean your analogy was shitty. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Because the world-renowned Picasso is really good. I just wanted to get my 2 cents that he's trash.
I heard getting gimmicks out here. You hear me? Yeah. Catchphrases galore.
You painted a beautiful picture. Chef is right.
So I'm never gonna pick Logan Paul. We've already established where I am with that man. I don't. But again, I say to you guys, if anything is going to get vinced by this pay-per-view.
Yep.
Oh, my God. Yep. Please, no.
If anything is going to go, because they waited until, like, the way he was entered into the match. I'm trying to talk my way out of this, right?
No, but you're right, though. The way he was put in. I know what you're saying.
He didn't need to make a call to nobody, right? Like, I don't know. Maybe Vince thought the match was too boring with the people that were in it. Maybe, he remembered when him and Ricochet clotheslined each other, from springboard to springboard. So maybe it's just for the spots. Maybe it's to make it more interesting, make it more mainstream. Maybe you put Logan Paul in the match to make it the main event. I don't know, right? Like, other than that, everybody who's in there should, as I talked about, be elevated by the match. Everybody who's already qualified should be there to be showcased. Adding this man takes away from Butch. Adding this man takes away from Escobar. Adding from this man takes away from Pretty Ricky. So it's like, what are we doing? Like, we didn't need 7 people. 6 was cool. It was a nice round number. It's a nice even amount of people in the ring. Do we need 7 ladders in the ring? No. Do we need 7 tables in the ring? No. So why do we need 7 wrestlers in the ring? I don't understand. But, like, it should be LA Knight.
Definitely.
I'm sticking with Priest because I want to see.
Which is fine as well. But that's good. But that's good as well.
But I swear to God, if if I'm watching from work, because I got to watch this from work on my phone. Thank you, Peacock. I appreciate that.
Shout out to the Peacock app for real. That saved my life
Shout
many a
out.
time.
I'm watching that on the way to a party.
Right. If I watch Logan Paul at the top of this ladder with a prime and a briefcase, I swear to God.
I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie to you. On a serious note, listen. I know a lot of fans. We talk our shit, but then we watch the next day. But let me tell you something. Yeah, I might have to go take a break on that one for real. I'm gonna be that hot. I'm gonna be that hot just because because everything you laid out, just like the King of the Ring to me, it's all about elevating a new talent. That's why to me Xavier Woods winning, I don't care if he wanted to win, it never hit for me. Finn losing that just made no sense to me. But it's just that's neither here nor there. Like those that tournament is used to elevate the next star or a star that's not being highlighted. Same with the briefcase. You don't. To me, is one of the greatest things they've ever incorporated in that company, and I don't like when it's misused or mistreated. And there's a lot of wrestlers in that match, truly, that can be elevated by having that briefcase. All jokes aside, like my personal feelings aside, Damian Priest in that match, that's an incredible thing as well. You know what I mean. Listen, even the less popular opinions, the Shinsuke's of the world, those Santos Escobar of the world, he would be elevated for having a briefcase. You know what I'm saying? So the only one that doesn't make sense is like this thing, because I know WWE likes to play around with the whole part timer thing, but it's not always cute. You know what I mean? Like him not showing up just because he can do a couple spots doesn't mean I need him to have a briefcase and then cash in. You know what I'm saying? Like I told you, the reason why I've said I've seen him as champion is because of one freaking match, and it's this one. I seen it a mile away. I seen it as soon as they signed him. I go, what's the one match you can sneak and win that can get you a championship? It's the Money in the Bank.
Mm-hmm.
All he has to do is push somebody off that ladder, grab that briefcase, and cash in on somebody at the opportune moment at a premium live event.
Right.
And I was like,
he doesn't, it's not chamber, right? He doesn't have to beat 5 or 6 people.
Correct.
It's one opportune time to climb the ladder.
And that's why I always said, everyone's like, what the hell you mean will be champ? I go, guys, how come y'all not seeing this? Guys, the WWE, with all due respect, they don't waste money. They don't waste money. They paid this young man a lot of money. I go, if you can't see that kid as champion, I can't help you. He's already in the damn 2K game. Like, guys, like, let me tell you something. Now, would I be more entertained with like a Bad Bunny singles match versus Logan Paul? Yeah, I'd take that.
Speaking of Bad Bunny,
listen,
I was going to ask you, would you rather have been Bad Bunny and Money in the Bank? Than
yes. Yeah,
I would have rather that it would have been enjoyable.
So I can do that, Jim. Yeah. Yo, we can bring it back. Now, I got that big head. Yo, listen, but no, for real, listen. But all I'm trying to say is, if there's a match that's gonna happen, it's gonna happen on Saturday. And I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm gonna hit y'all both up as soon as it happens. It's gonna just be nothing but emojis and foolishness, but y'all gonna know. But I'm gonna put a pin in that. I'm gonna mark all y'all's. Matter of fact, y'all just send me y'all's picks, man, because I should have been typing the damn thing down, but I'm talking too much. But just send me y'all picks real quick so I can whip a little graphic together so we can keep track, keep tally. Who's right? You know what I mean? But final thoughts, Chef. Anything you got to say, brother?
Ooh, I mean,
you have the floor.
We were chatting it up earlier, and you know, I'm worried about a few different things, and you know, David brought it up. I'm worried about our guy Bobby Lashley. I'm worried, you know, what kind of direction can we have for this man? He's not in any stories with anybody. You know, does he just need to come out and beat up people like Brock Lesnar does? Like, I am concerned about our guy Bobby Lashley, and we talked about I really would love for the Street Profits to actually be something. Pretty Deadly is cool.
They are.
You know, it's a unique tag team, and they do bring something different, but so do Street Profits. You know what I mean? Like the internet wants the Street Profits to break up. Meanwhile, WWE is barely putting these dudes on TV, and when they are on TV, you know, they had a great match with Pretty Deadly. You know, Montez is a fool. You know, putting on the man top. The cutoff, right?
Live TV, man. That's hard to do. I'm telling you. It's hard to do.
I mean? So, like, I appreciate like when they're on, because they're not on a lot, right? And I don't get it sometimes. It's so hard, and I get it because they're on a show that's on Friday and it's not 3 hours, you know, where there's all these different matches.
Right. That's fair.
I want to see more story with these SmackDown guys, because we also talked about Theory. Like, what is happening with all of these people? And he's supposed to be your US champ. He's not on the show. Last year's Money in the Bank had every title on the line. He's not even on the card. I'm guessing he's going to fight Friday, probably, right?
I hope so.
That's all I got. I mean, it was just some things that I was wondering, because you don't think about it, because there's been so many qualifying matches and stuff with Money in the Bank and this and that in the bloodline. So I was like, wait a minute, I haven't seen ...
They're getting too bloodline heavy, like I've always said. I don't care how popular the storyline is. It's too much. I'm like, damn, y'all. Well, I ain't never seen. Listen, the cow is the down to his last drops. How long are you gonna milk the udders?
Oh, it's not. Bloodline? It's not, because we still need a fatal 4-way.
Oh my gosh, Chef! Come on, man.
Ain't gonna be no fatal 4-way if Sami Zayn turn on
right.
Kevin Owens.
You still gotta have. You got Solo out here acting like a wild Samoan right now. So you got that angle.
Him eat a raw piece of fish. That's all I'm waiting on. Go get the raw chicken. Do it for real. Like
show me that you a real wild Samoan for real.
Solo's beating up people. He beating up people in catering, and
just very rude. I don't want to ever want somebody whip my ass where the good food's at. That's just rude. You know what I mean? But now listen, I'm with you on that. DP, the floor is yours, brother.
Well, the rebuttal off of him, before I get into my little tease, you know what I'm saying? I agree. It's just, like, I don't know what they're doing with the Street Profits, but I'm a part of the majority. I'm just ready for that to be over with, because they really don't have any plans for them. So why am I going to not want to watch them on TV if I can get a story with, say, a heel Montez and a heel Bianca going crazy?
I'm waiting.
That's nice. That's
I'm
spicy.
Here for it.
That's spicy.
It sure leaves Angelo on the outside.
As long as he's still around, I don't, because I know that's what my problem with when a great tag team breaks up, and what happens to that other person. Like, what happens to the other person in the group that people don't look as highly on, even though people sleep on Angelo, because Angelo's really good. But I know what you mean. Right. But that's aesthetic. But it's not Tez's fault that he's the love of his life happens to be one of the greatest wrestlers in the world.
Mm-hmm.
It's not his fault. It's not his fault. You know what I mean?
And it's not a shot at Angelo Dawkins, but I could argue if you separate the two, Montez and Skyrock, and that's not to say that he's an anchor, but he kind of is, because
in the regards of that
tag team, him being in that tag team kind of pigeonholes Montez. When really he's a superstar in the next 5 years, I could see being the face of WWE and being the next Roman Reigns.
If they let him.
Sometimes you just need to be a tugboat to Earthquake. Just not everybody's.
Nice reference. Yeah. It's a great reference. But like I said, the thing about it is you can want to do a lot of things. They got to let them do it, because that's my whole thing. Everyone's like, someone needs to get over. I go, the reason why you were mentioning Cassidy in the beginning is because Tony Khan afforded him the opportunity to win you over.
Right.
I can't want Montez to do things if they ain't gonna book him in the position, because we can say whatever you want to say, but they do book stuff. So if you really wanted to show people that Montez was what you think he was, he's in this Money in the Bank match. You know what I mean? Like you can't keep making it like our fault all the time. You know what I mean? You gotta, it's the fans' fault for not getting behind him. Oh no, the fans are behind Tez. They're behind it, because the reason why the fans are a little lukewarm is because they don't believe you. You know what I mean? They don't. We don't believe you're going to strap the rocket ship to them. So we don't love too hard. You see what I'm saying? We're being very timid. So we're waiting for you guys to show us that you believe in Montez as much as we do, and then we'll jump behind him. You see what I'm saying? We don't want to get too hyped. You know what I mean? we really don't. So I'm really worried about what Tez when it comes to that, because I don't know, man.
Bianca on his side though, and
that can't hurt. They got to get their own TV show. That can't hurt.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Well, listen, but you're right.
Can I give a little bit of love to AEW real quick, because it was like a bash fest last time we was on, I guess. And give Phil a little bit of love for not messing it all up. He did his thing, I guess, to the extent that he can. But the first episode of Collision was a great show, I thought. I thought it was better than Dynamite, and I like the layout of it, and it's allowed to breathe.
Love the layout.
It's not a car wreck, so Shout out to them for creating that good show, man.
Oh, I agree.
Appreciate it.
But here goes the thing. It's a weekly show, my brother. It's a weekly.
They
It's a
dropped
weekly.
$300,000 though.
Yeah, it's
But I don't wanna talk
a
about
dag. See, it's a weekly show, and you got to keep it going. The show is paced much better because I think it has a little bit more patient minds behind the scenes. I've never said CM Punk doesn't have a good wrestling mind. I've never said that. He's just not my cup of tea personally. You know what I mean?
Neither it is.
I just can't be an asshole your whole career, and then when somebody finally calls you on it, then it's their fault. That don't make sense to me. But but that's neither here nor there. But like I said, doesn't mean the show wasn't good. Doesn't mean that the show doesn't have potential. Doesn't mean I didn't get to see Pretty Ricky 2 weeks in a row.
Facts.
I'm like, hey, listen, I'll take it. I got Pretty Ricky 2 weeks in a row. Can I get him on consistent basis on Saturday? Why not?
Hey,
Well,
shout out Daniel Garcia. I see you dancing.
No, he can kick it. He can kick it. He's not my cup of tea either, but he got a dope little whatever that little grind two-step thing he does. I'm with it.
But why am I supposed to believe in Willie Yuta though? Like that shit that I'm like, bro, like that's supposed to be the baddest boy around the AEW.
I'm a hard sell, bro. It's not their fault. It's my fault. I'm a hard sell. You just got to be spectacular for me to think you're a dope wrestler. You just do. Because I'm sorry, because you make it spectacular dollars. So
right.
And anybody that bitches when I say that, I go, none of these professional athletes I watch on TV like NFL, they're not mediocre. Like there's greatness. Like you can, and Daniel Garcia is a relative starter. So if you're a starter, I need you to be spectacular. As you just being okay and cutting it for me. That's just me personally. You know what I'm saying? So like people can have whoever they have, and I'll sit back and be like, man, all right. I need, you know what I mean? I need a little more joie de vivre. I need a little more oomph. I need a little bit of more.
Je ne sais quoi.
You know what I'm saying? I need some of that. But that's just me personally. Man, you got time, young boy. You got time. That's it for me. I'm done. I'm already working myself into this Logan Paul shit. So I'm getting pissed already. I'm out of here, yo, chef. DP. I appreciate y'all for taking the time as per usual.
Absolutely.
It's a beautiful thing to hear y'all talk. Lord have mercy. I swear to God, if that boy went on Saturday. But
he won't. Don't
pissed him off.
Yeah, we didn't piss him off.
I was trying not to go there. You went there, Jay. You went there, bro. You like, I got
show's over. I'm done.
If I don't eventually step over some lines, it's not a show. If I don't try to piss
you a line stepper.